Zen. Tonight's Dharma talk is given by Myungjin Eunsahn.
Right view is not right opinion. Let me say that one more time. Right view is not right opinion. And we're going back to the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, right? There's suffering, there's a cause for it, there's a way out, and here's what you do to get out. And the Eightfold Path is that fourth truth. And they are um, right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And right view leads off the parade there. And I think that's the one that's the hardest to wrap your head around. Right livelihood? Yeah, okay, don't work for an arms manufacturer. Don't be a mafia hitman. Cool, can do that. Right meditation or right concentration. Okay, we're doing that tonight, right? We calm our minds, we concentrate. There you go. There's your right meditation. And, thought, action, words, uh, likewise, pretty easy, but right view. Hmm. What exactly does that mean? And as it turns out, there are a couple of, in this case, suttas that address that. So from the Samyutta Nikaya, and what bhikkhus is right view? Knowledge of suffering, knowledge of the origin of suffering, knowledge of the cessation of suffering, knowledge of the way leading to the cessation of suffering. This is called right view. And there's another one, Kakanagata, at Savatthi, the Venerable Kakanagata approached the best one, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said to him, "Venerable sir, it is said, right view, right view, right view. In what way, venerable sir, is there right view? This world, for the most part, depends on duality, upon the notion of existence and the notion of non-existence. But for one who sees the origin of the world as it really is with correct wisdom, there is no notion of non-existence in regard to the world. And for one who sees the cessation of the world as it really is with correct wisdom, there is no notion of existence in regard to the world." And just skipping down in the Pali Canon ways here, there's the Samaditi Sutta, the Discourse on Right View. The Venerable Shariputra said this: "The wholesome and the unwholesome. When Fred's a noble disciple understands the unwholesome, the root of the unwholesome, the wholesome and the root of the wholesome. In that way, he is one of right view, whose view is straight, whose has perfect confidence in the Dharma and has arrived at this true Dharma." And so you can see that in them, accuracy in what you understand what you intuit, you could even say. What feels right in here? There's the Kalama Sutta that says basically you know the difference between right and wrong, and you know wholesome from unwholesome, right? So experiencing reality as it is, even when it's unpleasant, knowing that that is part of life, that's right view. Right view is another one of those words that, it's like technically correct, but in English we have a lot of other equivalent words to view, like opinion, um, but also like seeing, observing. We could even say perceiving, but it's got to be an accurate seeing. It's got to be an accurate perception. It's got to be an accurate observation. It can't just be sort of, oh yeah, okay, it's snowing out. It's got to be one of those things where, as our Zen practice tells us, to experience reality directly. The old when thirsty drink, when hungry eat sort of thing. There's that aspect to it, and there's also when eating, just eat. When drinking, just drink. You can tell somebody about how tasty this glass of water is, and unless you drink it or they drink it, nobody really perceives that reality. They don't see that reality. They don't have a view of that reality. So, right view, seeing the world as it is. Sometimes we don't like the world as it is. Go back to the first noble truth about that. Yep, there's times when we're just not going to like the way things are. But if you look at it as pleasant and unpleasant being tied together. For example, like if you have a magnet, a bar magnet, it's got a north pole, it's got a south pole, and north to north repels, south to south repels, but north and south will attract, right? This is not a lesson in physics, nor is it anything else along those lines. However, if you chop this magnet in half, still got a north, still got a south, and then you got another piece with a north and a south. You chop it up again, chop it up again, chop it up again. And there always is going to be a north and a south. As thin as you want to slice it, there's always going to be a north and a south. So when you hear things like nirvana is samsara or samsara is nirvana, it's because they're like the north and south on that magnet. You can't really separate them. Um, when we see when we see the north and south of the world, of reality, that's right view. When you likewise see all of this as empty, as in totally open to all possibilities, not something that's etched in stone, not something that's permanent, as real as it is at this moment doesn't mean that it's going to be real in the next moment or the moment after that. And even that realness is empty. So it's a matter of putting things in perspective. We perceive accurately. We see what is accurately. We also acknowledge that that which we are seeing is empty. It has no permanent self nature. What was snow yesterday is even more snow today, and it's crusty and it's frozen over, and then it'll melt and it'll get even icier. Changing, changing, changing. Sometimes that's a lot easier to say than it is to do, right? There are times when we just plain don't like something and we really don't care that, there's another side to it, or there's a way out of it, or here's what I have to do to get out of it. It's sometimes we just want to stew in it. And that's fine. Because if we have right view, we know, yes, there is something to stew about. And even though it's empty, we're still treating it as it's real. It has a cause. If nothing else, our emotional state, our thinking is the cause of the suffering. There is a way out. And if nothing else, it's change the way you're thinking. And then there's the Eightfold Path, which starts with right view, which is not right opinion.